American artist Louis Comfort Tiffany is best known for his revolutionary work in stained glass production. He was convinced that medieval glass held a level of sophistication lost in modern glass production. The impurities found in this glass allowed for rich tones and a variety of textures, creating more visual interest. When he was unable to find a glassmaker willing to carry out his vision, he opened his own studio and glass foundry. What if I told you, you don't have to be a glassmaker to employ the process of Tiffany, experimenting with materials to create a stained glass effect, all without the use of toxic chemicals or a foundry. Dried acrylic paint, called a paint skin, or sometimes called an acrylic chip, is made by spreading acrylic paint onto a non-stick surface. Palette paper, sheet protectors, or baker's parchment all work well. Place your chosen paper on a tray or piece of rigid corrugated cardboard. When the acrylic dries, it forms a flexible skin that can be lifted from the palette paper. We have used paint skins in a variety of Blick lesson plans, but this process is unique in that instead of using acrylic paint colors directly from the bottle, color is mixed with clear gloss medium or gel medium to create a semi-transparent paint skin. For this project, you will need a large amount of both Blick acrylic gel and gloss mediums to use as a clear base. Notice how earlier I simply said color would be added to the clear medium? That's because the color doesn't have to come from just one kind of paint. Liquid watercolor, alcohol inks, including marker refills, high flow and fluid paints can all be used, as well as regular classroom acrylic paints. Let's make one together using Chroma acrylic paint and Blick acrylic gloss medium. Squeeze or scoop a generous amount of medium onto the palette paper and add just a few drops of color. You can always add more later, but it's hard to take away. Notice the gel medium has a milky white color that will become transparent as it dries. And the color can be fully mixed or left with swirls and whirls. Spread it out as evenly as possible, being careful not to spread the medium too thin. The paint will shrink as it dries, and if the skin is too thin, it will be too flimsy and too flexible to use in the stained glass piece, like this example here. Each material will react in a different way and will vary in transparency depending on the medium chosen and the viscosity of the paint color. I suggest making notes about the formulation directly onto the palette paper to keep track of favored materials and colors. Let's look at a few paint swatches together. These swatches were made with Blick liquid watercolor. For this swatch, Blick gel medium was used as the base. You can see it's a little bit thicker than the others. It also bubbled a little bit more, which I think gives it a very interesting effect. And it does have a few milky areas. And that's because the agent that makes matte medium matte will build up the thicker you lay the paint down, and it becomes visible. This is black Blick liquid watercolor with acrylic gloss medium and just a little bit of pearlescent white. And in this example, the watercolor was not fully mixed into the gloss medium, creating a streaky effect. Using Blick watercolor with either the gloss medium or the gel medium will create the most clear and transparent acrylic skin. In this swatch, alcohol ink was used with gel medium. Using alcohol ink with gel medium or gloss medium will create flakes of color. Though it stays fairly transparent, there is a chemical reaction that happens, creating these little color bursts. You can also try using different bases entirely, such as the Utrecht iridescent medium or glass bead gel. This has liquid watercolor added to it, and this is just plain glass bead gel, mica flake gel, and Mod Podge glitter medium. Due to the thickness of the paint, it can take about a week for the sheets to dry. During this time, work on a design for your stained glass piece. The design should be simple, something that can be broken down into color block shapes. I have a sketch of a bird. Cut pieces of acrylic skins. To get the right shapes, make a copy of the sketch that can be cut out into its respective shapes. Use these cut pieces as a template when cutting the acrylic skins. Once all of the pieces are cut, place a sheet protector or piece of acetate over your drawing. Even though the paint skins are dry, they will have a window cling-like effect if they touch other materials, and it can sometimes be hard to remove. Arrange your paint skins right on top of the drawing, just like putting puzzle pieces together. And it's okay if all of the pieces don't fit perfectly. Everything is pulled together with Pebio's adhesive lead strip, used like tape to adhere each piece together. It's important to note that this is made from actual lead, and therefore it's important to wash your hands after use. And obviously do not put the strips near your face or mouth. Strips can be left as is or cut down the center line. Peel away the adhesive backing to expose the adhesive and simply press into the acrylic paint skins, bridging the gap where two pieces connect, just like using tape. Start from one side of your image and move across, adding pieces until the whole image is pieced together. Then, carefully turn it over and do the same for the back side. To seal the edges, use a whole piece of the lead strip. Do not cut down that center line. Peel the backing off just a little bit to start. Then, using your fingers or a pair of jewelry pliers, crease at the center line, creating a little bit of a V or U gouge. Then decide on a starting point. I'll go with the beak here, centering it along the edge of the paint skin. Follow along until you reach the end of the piece. Then, using your fingers or jewelry pliers, crimp the lead strip around the edge. Complete all the way around your stained glass piece. Then, to hang, simply thread a needle and press right through the acrylic skin. Hang in a sunny window, illuminating the colorful glass-like effects. For a full list of materials and instructional PDF, scan the QR code or go to dickblick.com/lessonplans.